Appreciate you guys for tuning in. I'm your host, Gab Bosun. We back with another video, bro. We got do people understand the full scale of the universe? Listen, man, I'll be the first one to tell you that ain't none of my business. But to be honest, I really live my life by this real philosophy, and it's like, yo, I am a brilliant man because I know I don't know everything. And there's brilliance in not knowing everything. Certain conversations I'll be the first one to tell you, I don't know the first thing about the universe outside of the sun and a couple of planets and meteors. That's about as deep as my intellect is willing to go. But I always like being a part of a lot of conversations because, to be honest, you could always learn something from this. So we're about to get into, do people understand the scale of the universe? I'm just gonna flat out say no.
Scale of the universe?
Damn, really? That's okay.
Ridiculously easy.
Rank these things from smallest at the top to biggest on the bottom.
But sometimes you have to ask the question no one would bother to in order to figure out what people are actually thinking.
This is really gonna put my astronomy skills to the test. So,
Moon, I don't know, moon.
Yeah, I'd say moon is probably
I'd
the
say
smallest.
stars are smallest.
But the sun is a star.
This is like a science quiz.
let's say planets are the smallest.
I'd say planet
Wow.
might be the top of the line.
Is the sun bigger than the moon?
It depends on the planet, right?
It does, but as a general category.
Stars, then moons.
And then there's stars
Yeah.
around the planet.
The sun is a star.
I won't even judge them, bro. I don't know what order. I think if you ask me in terms of like the scale of the some of these planets, I don't know what's bigger. Like what? The sun is a star? I mean, well, I guess in theory, right?
All right. I think.
Yeah, it is.
You think this one's next? I trust you.
Because we're talking about a galaxy, bro. We're talking everything.
You looking at the galaxy too.
Well, I guess you would start with the universe, right?
Okay.
I think it's this one and then this one.
You're right.
You can.
Wait, no.
Unless you believe in the multiverse, then you know.
You're taking this like four-dimensional chess level.
I think the moon would be bigger, no?
I mean, you think, right? Because like it looks bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is this supposed to be like a science lesson?
Like there's definitely some science to this.
Okay.
I'm about to say, this don't got nothing to do with science.
So what is a moon? Like how's a moon different from a planet?
It's a collection of dust, maybe.
The way that they come about in astrology and like like the meteors.
Planets is like human life. Already exists or potentially can exist.
And a planet has its own I feel like a planet is
Atmosphere.
capable of having its own atmosphere or something.
And then
Not the high
atmosphere
five.
of the moon and the planet are completely different.
Whether or not it has like an atmosphere.
I get why some people would think this because the Earth has an atmosphere while our moon has essentially no atmosphere. But Titan, Saturn's largest moon, actually has a thick atmosphere, while Mercury has no substantial atmosphere. So if having an atmosphere isn't what makes a planet, then what is it?
You don't know if the moon has people on it. It could.
You think the moon could have people on it?
There could be moon people. We never know.
I'm thinking like orbits or something.
I'm not saying that now.
I think natural satellite is the term used. So you'll always have moons around a planet. You can't see a planet around a moon.
How many planets do we know of?
Okay, boss. Do we know of?
I don't know. Well,
I could probably tell you how many planets I know of. I don't think I can.
Let's see, 7, 8.
7 or 9.
do we have 11 in our solar system?
I think a planet has to be a certain size to be considered a planet. Because if you look at Pluto, they just say it's not a planet because it's too small.
Pluto doesn't count as a planet anymore.
Pluto's technically not a planet.
Everyone
That's
knows
a
the poor
dwarf
story
planet?
of Pluto.
Because
Like,
everybody loves Pluto.
When
Pluto's not a
Pluto was
planet?
discovered in 1930, it was hailed the 9th planet. But it quickly became clear that Pluto was different. The real nail in the coffin came on the 5th of January 2005 when astronomers discovered Eris, an object in the Kuiper Belt that's around 30% more massive than Pluto. Similar large objects had already been discovered and more were likely to follow. So scientists faced a choice, either add a whole bunch more planets or demote Pluto. In 2006, the decision was made and a new definition for a planet was established.
You should just get over it.
planet
Pluto had it coming from the beginning.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane. Our moon
Our
has
moon-
5 times the mass of Pluto. So just get over it.
Was our moon a planet?
No, it's a moon.
To be a planet, an object now had to satisfy 3 criteria. First, it must orbit the sun. Second, it must have enough self-gravity so that it's round or almost round. And third, it must be gravitationally dominant and cleared out its.
The fact that we have standards for what is considered a planet is hilarious to me. You got to orbit around the sun, almost be round, and I'm guessing, and he mentioned something about gravity. You think does gravity control the size of a planet or the shape? That's new to me. Cleared out its neighborhood. Like what? I genuinely don't know what the hell I'm reacting to. I'm being honest with y'all, bro.
Its neighborhood. Pluto satisfies the first two criteria, but not the third. So now we're back to the set of planets without Pluto.
Mercury, Venus, Earth, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune. Oh, it's 8.
Nice. And he named them all. Bonus points. How many planets outside the solar system?
What?
Ooh, maybe around a couple hundred to 1,000, maybe.
Probably a couple million. Probably more than that.
Yeah, probably more than that.
I mean, in terms of the number that we know is about 5,000 right now that have been identified. But like, you're right. There's many more, but we just haven't seen them yet.
That shit is so eerie. The fact that there's 5,000 that hasn't been identified, 8 that we know of. Like, there's no way you could convince me that there's not life on other planets, bro. There are other planets that exist that don't know the first thing about Earth. Because you got to think about it. Like, what's so special about Earth? You know what I mean? If we could get out here and there's like no definitive explanation how we got here, there's no way you're going to convince me that whatever happened to Earth didn't happen in another planet. We can't just, out of 5,000 planets, this is the one planet with human beings. Like, you got to think of the capabilities. And look what we've been able to create, right? In the grand scheme of things. Look at what we've turned Earth into. You know, from a planet that was just dinosaurs and animals and plants. You know, we got buildings, we got skyscrapers, we got, you know, cars, we have planes, we have technology, we have internet. Like, if we could do all this to Earth, there's no way, bro, that they haven't figured out something with another planet. We just haven't found it yet.
So we don't know. So the moons are the smallest. They go around the planets. Planets go around the stars. What makes a star a star?
Kind of like a dead planet, right? Like it's just emitting heat.
Like little gas things, and they explode all the time, and we don't even see them. But I don't know where they come from. Can you tell me?
If you have a bunch of just like gas, as you say, like hydrogen, helium, that all kind of clumps together, it forms a star. And then, like you say, there's like fusion in the middle, the explosions in the middle that are giving out light and heat and stuff like that.
Wow, you just taught me something new. I didn't even know that.
And there you go.
Taught us all something new.
To fill the sun?
A million Earths.
A million Earths. I got it wrong. Okay, I'm stupid.
No, but like it's a lot, right?
Here's one way to put this in.
Looks like Mr. Beast.
In our solar system, there are 8 planets, hundreds of moons, millions of asteroids, and more. But in terms of mass, all that only makes up 0.14% of the mass of our solar system. The other 99.86% of the mass is the sun. That is just how much bigger and more massive the sun is.
Moon smallest, then planets,
Ole.
then stars. Well, what is a galaxy? Like, what is that?
A group of planets in, I'd say, a certain amount of proximity.
Like the solar system, like the system of planets. So like just how we have our solar system is what makes the galaxy.
A ton of stars, moons, and planets in together makes the galaxy.
Maybe just a collection of like solar systems.
So how many is a collection of solar systems? How big is a galaxy? How many stars?
I'm cooked.
Wait, I don't know.
Phone a friend.
60,000.
Millions?
I think I'm just biased. I'd just say this one solar system because that's the only one I sort of technically am aware of because we exist on Earth, but I wouldn't I feel like that's an impossible question to answer. No? There's no way someone could know the true answer to that.
I'd say millions.
Tens of millions of stars, perhaps?
Oh, he looked like he would know.
Roughly. Ballpark.
Probably hundreds
Pause.
of millions.
Million? Billion?
100 billion.
Oh, you are way off. Oh my God, crazy. You said 60. 100 billion?
100 billion stars.
Damn, really? That's okay.
Number of stars in a galaxy. That can
Might as well
vary
just say
depending on the size of the
infinite.
Galaxy, but like
Yeah.
100 billion, 200 billion, 300 billion, 50 billion. Like that's like kind
Okay,
of the ballpark
but
numbers
the
for most
average
galaxies.
is 100
Average-
billion.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
They're huge. There's a funny question: are there more trees on Earth or stars in our galaxy?
If
Huh? Are there more trees on Earth or stars in the galaxy? First of all, that's crazy. Now you're painting me a picture that I can visualize. Because there's trees everywhere, bro. Damn.
Oh, actually, I'm now thinking about like a math problem where it's basically you have to find, I guess, the whole entire surface area of that. Ooh,
The answer is, I'll save you the trouble. There are more trees on Earth than there are stars in the galaxy, in our Milky Way galaxy.
you know what figures, you know?
So
Estimated
a galaxy
3
is a
trillion?
huge collection of stars,
Holy.
planets, gas, dust, dark matter, and other objects, all bound together by gravity.
And then what is around the Milky Way galaxy?
More galaxies.
There are more galaxies, but they're kind of far away.
Shove.
What's between us and those other
you doing?
galaxies?
Like all types of vastness, you know, supernovas.
Dark matter?
Stars?
You know, this is the thing that I find nuts, and one of the things I wanted to see if people know. But like, the Milky Way is like one galaxy, but it's huge.
Right.
It's like 100,000 light years across. That's pretty big. You know what I mean? But then around us, there's nothing.
Oh wow, I didn't know
Basically
that.
nothing.
Yeah.
It's kind of like the continents, right? Like you have a continent, but then around it, like there's all this ocean. And then there's like more galaxies. And then there's nothing. And then more galaxies and nothing. More galaxies and nothing.
But this animation is not to scale. Really, it should look more like this. The distances between galaxies are enormous, typically millions of light years. If you zoom out further, you find that galaxies are grouped together in clusters, and those clusters make up even larger superclusters, all separated by enormous voids.
And you know how many galaxies there are in the universe?
I'll take a guess and say
Nope.
like 20 something.
How many galaxies in the universe?
If I know.
12? I don't know.
Nobody knows.
Is that like close?
It's more.
20?
Much more.
Oh, much more.
I'm gonna say 100.
More than hundreds.
Thousands?
More than thousands.
Oh my gosh.
100,000s?
10,000? 10,000?
Oh no,
That's
billions. 100 billion.
10,000 galaxies, but each galaxy's got 100 billion stars.
16,482. Hundreds of thousands?
I'm not even guessing that number is
Billions?
even.
1 billion? Or is that too small?
1 billion galaxies, each one with 100 billion stars.
I'll say
This is like the first time I'm watching one of these where I don't feel like the person that's answering is a complete idiot. You know what I mean? Because these are things that we really don't even think about or consider in our day-to-day life, unless you're like, you know, a super geek and, you know, astrology like matters to you and shit like that, which in my personal life, this has no variance whatsoever. Like, I don't even think about the stars. I got bills. But nonetheless, it's still a very interesting conversation because it expands your understanding of what's really going on. You know what I mean?
10 billion that we know of.
What are you gonna say?
The answer is, how many galaxies in the universe? About. Gosh darn it. 100 billion.
Hundreds of billions.
Really?
About 100 billion galaxies.
Holy, seriously?
Yeah.
And this is just
About 100
one?
billion. Dang, weird.
Oh man.
It is huge. 100 billion are observable.
And these are just galaxies.
These are galaxies. Each galaxy then has about 100 billion stars.
Okay.
Right?
That's mind-blowing a little bit.
Right?
Yeah.
This is what I'm saying. I feel like most people don't know this scale of the universe, and that's what I'm
I
out here to
didn't.
talk about.
Mhm.
That's why I wanted to be like,
I didn't.
it's so much bigger than.
So there's 100 billion galaxies, and every galaxy has 100 billion stars, and you can only imagine how many planets each galaxy has. There's no way that we're the only human race that exists. There's no way that. Yo, I ain't gonna front, bro. My head is spinning.
Right.
In fact, there could be even more, because 100 billion galaxies is a conservative estimate. Some believe there are up to 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe.
So it's huge. And between all these galaxies, nothing.
Nothing.
What a wacky universe, right? Yeah. And around each star, there might be on average about 6 planets.
Wow.
So you can think about 100 billion times 100 billion times 6, roughly. And that's conservative.
Okay.
And like number of planets maybe in the universe. So it's insanely huge.
Yes. That does sound that is actually, wow.
I feel like it makes me less stressed because it's just a blip in the system, man. Nothing's ever that deep.
So the universe is insanely huge.
And we're incredibly small. I got you.
How does that make you feel?
Very
Think about the
small.
size of it.
Very small.
I don't know. It doesn't make me feel that small.
No?
Because there's not.
You still feel pretty big?
I don't feel big, but you know, I still feel like this Earth in particular has a pretty decent amount of significance.
This is a special place for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah. On the 14th of February, 1990, the Voyager 1 spacecraft was about 6 billion kilometers from the sun when it took this picture. All you see are a few rays of light and a little dot. Carl Sagan described this picture best. Look again at that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of. Every human being who ever was lived out their lives. Every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every young couple in love, every mother and father, inventor and explorer, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam.
That's crazy.
The Earth is a very small stage in a vast cosmic arena. To me, it underscores our responsibility to deal more kindly with one another and to preserve and cherish the pale blue dot, the only home we've ever known.
I'm glad you taught me something today. I appreciate it. I like learning.
That's awesome. Well, thank you for being open to learning, because that's so important.
The thing that people are worried about is making mistakes, but you can't learn without making mistakes a lot of times.
Facts. Like, one thing about me is like no matter how old I get, I'm always gonna be a student of like learning about shit that, you know, that I'm not aware of. Like, I feel like you'll never know enough, right? The man that lives the longest life there's still a man that's still learning, right? When do you have all the answers? You just truly never do. And sometimes we take for granted our own experience on Earth and don't realize how fortunate we are to just exist, right? Like, there's thousands of galaxies that are out there where we don't even know what exists. Like, there's still like an overwhelming big question mark when it comes to life. And sometimes I feel like as humans, we lose the concept of just things that are just bigger than us. Because to us, we live in this world where society matters, community matters, living matters, surviving matters. And that's such a small pebble in an ocean full of mysteries and questions pertaining to the galaxy and pertaining to how we got here and why we're here. Like, I'm always fascinated by these conversations. But let me know in the comment section what you thought. And I'm gonna holler at you guys next video. Road to 20K humbly. This was, do people understand the scale of the universe? I feel like I kind of do now. I'm probably gonna forget about it in a week, but you know, I don't think we ever will. But fun fact, huh? Mamba out.